Man, it's nice to get to talk to you. Now the Aristocrats are about to play one-off show in Brazil. What can the
Uh-huh.
fans expect from the performance?
Yeah, I hope, by that time we're pretty kind of locked, as a unit. And, because we've been on tour with that album already for quite a while. And I guess we figured out which songs work best actually at what time in the set. So, we hopefully come with a pretty solid performance. And, we love our fans actually down there, and so we haven't been there in a while as the Aristocrats, and so it's really, really cool. So expect us to have a great friendship bond and hopefully like a fantastic concert experience together.
How to describe the musical chemistry between you, Guthrie, and Brian?
Yeah, I think, that we have this telepathic thing going on. Basically, we really kind of connect and know already, how each other of us is kind of responding and playing. It's like, the thing that we kind of figured out right when we were actually started as the Aristocrats, I have to say. That was like, a chemistry thing, So, and this is kind of rare, you don't have that with many musicians. And, so that's how I would describe, the chemistry. It's like having a conversation almost blindfolded. We can already kind of hear our thoughts.
The this chemistry, I think, also allows for a lot of improvisation during the set. Should we expect the same vibe here in Brazil?
Well, there is a lot of the music is written out actually. So about like 70 to 80% is completely written. Um, there are improvisational parts, obviously, where each of us, can stretch out in the songs. Depends on who it is written for or which solo sections are written for. So, and the songs change as well, sometimes a little bit. We do, welcome new little snippets that magically happen and then kind of hop on top of them and then basically kind of, if they're successful, make them a thing, So, yeah, every Aristocrats show is a little bit different.
Is there room for happy accidents in your performances?
Always, they always happen. Can you, by the way, see me? Can you, by the way, see me as well?
Yeah,
Oh,
I can,
camera and audio works. Okay, because okay, I just wanted to check.
sure, I can
Uh,
see.
okay, good, good. So, happy accidents always happen. It's like sometimes the thing that you kind of tell a story and you say something and the audience starts responding very well to it, then you start using it the second time. You know what I mean? So happy accidents, I guess, are important. If you have the same discussion actually every night on stage, that would be boring. It would be like going to the same restaurant every day. So, yes, absolutely. Happy accidents happen and we embrace them.
And how do you deal with the unexpected on stage? Not only the happy accidents, but everything that's unexpected.
If it's something good, then you deal actually greatly with it. If it's something that is not so awesome, that sometimes happens too, when there is like, a loss of speakers or something, when the PA fails or something, then you just have to stop and wait for a little bit, until they fix it, and you kind of start making jokes with the audience about it. So that's how you react. It's like in everyday life. It's like what happens at your home or with friends sometimes when, silly things happen. Uh, hopefully you can see it in a joking way, if it's not too serious.
Regarding the album Duck, how has the live reception been so far?
Very, very well. I think it's a fairly strong album that we put out with that. And when we took the songs out there, for a spin, so to speak, the response was very, very good. And we figured out, which songs have their place in certain moments in the show. And so, you learn, how to kind of, build like, a sort of a set list, that leads towards a climax, or which songs have more energy and which songs actually are more for the listening experience. But so far, we had actually very good reactions, and it makes us obviously very happy.
Hmm. Did you play in Brazil before?
Oh, many times. Many times. We've been to Brazil with the Aristocrats, I think already twice. And then me, as for myself, I did already solo shows actually in Rio de Janeiro and also in São Paulo. Yeah, Rio de Janeiro
Mm,
was one of the first ones. Then I
mhm.
played there with Creator, with the metal band. I toured all over the place, from Brasilia to Porto Alegre to Belo
Mm.
Horizonte, Curitiba, Florianopolis. Uh,
You
um,
remember well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Many, many, many
Do
places.
you
And
have do you have any memorable
Fortaleza.
stories from your past visits here?
Yeah, I also toured with Joe Satriani, by the way, there, also. Yeah, there's yeah, Brazil, there's always, first of all, from good restaurants, but also really, really cool, friendly experience, like just the people are just like so welcoming and so nice and always kind of show you around to like, the cool restaurants, cool hangs, and it's just like a true rock and roll place, which I like.
Man, you've played with artists as diverse as Steven Wilson, you mentioned Joe Satriani, and even the Sea Within. What do you look for in these musical partnerships?
Yeah, I don't look really much for anything, that is planned. I always kind of, like to see how the chemistry is between the musicians, and then we see, what we can do with it. I rarely kind of go in with the plan, okay, the album has to be like that. If a song is good, I think a song is good, and it doesn't matter what style it is.
Mm,
It's just like really the chemistry between the musicians, and so if you have capable, very, versatile musicians, that also have like a cool music taste and good chemistry to kind of an opinion about or attitude about groove or something like that. That's wonderful.
mm,
And um and the rest will happen automatically. And it's even more beneficial if the people you are play with are also nice on top of it. That's I think the most
mm.
important part in everyday life, really, that you kind of connect with people you want to be around with, or you want to be around. I mean, yeah.
How do you manage to adapt to such a wide range of musical styles?
You ought to adapt to that. I think we all are listening to many genres of music. That's why we're probably here because we're music lovers. And so with experience, which is the best teacher in my opinion, the more you play with more artists, the more you learn. How to, when you can shine in the song, when you have to support the song. And this is kind of, really how you learn that by experience, how at what volume to play, how many notes to play at what time. Those are little things that just automatically settle in, and the rest is just conversation then, musical conversation.
How do you see the evolution of drumming in rock and prog over the last 2 decades, maybe? I mean, what has changed and what remains essential?
Yeah, well, it has a lot of things changed, a lot of things. And that's the thing about evolution, of course, because first of all, the equipment got better, like more sturdy, you play on kind of, more solid equipment, and that makes you also, feel good on stage, these things happen. Then obviously, things that broadened the horizon, there's always something in the drumming world that changed a little bit. And I guess I was a little bit part of it when I, started along with Terry Bozzio or something years ago doing the independence concept because I was an organ player. I played with, two manual, hands, and then I had to play chords and melodies. And with the bass, I had to play an octave of foot bass. And so when I was a kid, I tried to bring that to the drum set and also did then, with uh, integrating multiple hi-hats, multiple instruments that I can play with my feet. And so that's how that style kind of developed. And I guess that influenced a lot of people, which I'm very, very proud of. I wasn't, I mean, I think, Terry Bozzio, Gary Chester, and myself were really some of the pioneers who really started doing that, already in the 80s and the 90s. And then there was a whole generation of players who did that kind of thing as well. So that is stuff that is new. Well, okay, now you say like maybe the last 2 decades, that would be early 2000s. So
Hmm.
what had changed from then on? So since we already knew all that kind of stuff, I guess uh, things got a little more technical in the metal sector, So and that comes, from I guess a lot of people program things, drums and also other kind of stuff, that gets very tight, and so a lot of players, are kind of on the grid and learn how to play to click tracks and tracks, and especially in metal, it's kind of a big thing, and why not, like if
Hmm.
people like it and they love it and the audience responds,
Hmm.
then there you go. It's
Do you,
always a
s-
matter of
hmm.
taste. It's always a matter of taste. Yeah.
Do you still dedicate time to regular practice, to experimenting with these new technologies, or is your focus more on writing and recording?
I am more a composer. I play guitar as well. Yeah, as you can see, I have one of my guitars right here, and I'm writing actually on a song right now here. So for me, it's the beauty of music always, and it doesn't matter if it's a technical song or if it's just a slow ballad or whatever you name it. If the mission is cool and it speaks to you, then it's worth following it up. But I'm more a very organic musician, I have to say. Even though I like a lot of the electronic elements and I love good electronic sounds, which I incorporate, but I'm more really, especially when it comes to drums, I'm very fond of letting the drums sing and have like, open, good sounding drums. I guess that's what drums were built for, you know what I mean? So, and I'm a little bit old school with that. And even if it's like a newer style of music, I still believe in one's voice, that you have a unique voice in your playing. And that's getting even more defined or refined, I would say, by the sound you have.
With
Yeah.
many young musicians considering you a reference and an inspiration, what advice would you give to them?
Well, thank you, first of all. I never thought about that way, but thank you. If people say that, that means a lot to me. Um, what advice would I give to people? I would say, like, listen to your heart, and do what you believe in, and don't let people take talk you out of it. Believe in yourself. If your friends, your close friends, and your band mates or whoever you work with love what you do, then keep doing what you do. And especially in the age of social media, there's always people who have something negative to say. Sometimes there's always someone, but most of the people, mean well and follow your heart. Listen to your friends, and then don't be distracted, by anything else. If you know what you're doing, if you like what you're doing, then there's the likelihood that others like it too. So follow your,
Mhm.
path.
With so many tours, recordings, and collaborations, what still challenges you as a musician?
Challenges is like usually, I would say, sometimes the scheduling, not so much the playing or anything, but just like, making time, to get everything really going. And, I have to be honest. So, Uh, I'm playing a lot of different studio jobs and sometimes a lot of tours, but I consciously made a decision to concentrate mainly now on the Aristocrats, since we are like, a pretty successful entity, so to speak, and it works. We can play around the world and it's our own songs. So I so there is no challenge now anymore. The challenge would be if I go like, oh, I want to do that band and this band as well and this. I had those years, where I played with Steven Wilson, with Joe Satriani, and with the Aristocrats in the same year, and I was home maybe for 10 days in a year. And at some point I thought like, hang on, I want to change that because I like my music studio here at home. I mean, I have a portable studio with me as well, where I write in hotel rooms, but it's great to be also at home. And so I wisely made the choice to, yeah, to kind of concentrate only on a few things that really mean a lot to me.
Are there any upcoming projects you'd like to share with the defense?
Yes, absolutely. So, well, I always write new music, and my new songs are always now on Bandcamp. So, I already have basically a new album out, but I didn't put it together. I released it literally song by song. But I'm working actually on a new album with a fantastic singer, Kotono from Japan, who was in the band Baby Metal. She was the dancer, and she was in the band Koyai, which is a great prog, jazz, and rock band from Japan. And so she just departed with Koei, parted ways, but it's all cool. But we started working, and it's a wonderful array of songs. She's very talented. And yeah, I already wrote like two songs for the thing. Mariko Muranaka is another participant on that album. She's a cellist who worked with Madonna and Hans Zimmer and Andrea Bocelli. So she's a really big deal, and she's a fantastic player. She's on board. Well, I'm obviously on board then. Then David Pastorius, who is literally Jaco Pastorius' nephew, and Guthrie Govan, my fellow aristocrats. He also played a solo. There are many guests and cool people, and I'm working on an album. And I think, the first song I'm gonna release probably in a few weeks, and then there will be an album coming a few months after.
Well, finally, if you could pick any drummer, living or dead, to share the stage with in a duo, who would it be and why?
Oh, those are difficult questions because there are many of those. I would instantly, the first name that comes to my mind is John Bonham, because of his great pulse and his great, everything about his playing was wonderful. His tone, his technique, and his groove. And I could absolutely picture myself having like, really cool duet groove and then some technical things here and there as well. That would be something.
Man, thank you so much for your time. Hope to
Thank
see
you.
you in a few. I don't remember exactly the date of the show. I forgot. So many
What
things in
what
my
what
head.
what city what city are you in?
I'm in Rio de Janeiro, but the show will be in São Paulo, right?
São Paulo, exactly. That's like, what, 45-minute flight or something for you. Yeah, exactly.
45 minutes, not, but also a 9 hour bus trip because I live in the mountains.
Oh!
There's no airport close to me.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Now,
But
wonderful.
I'll try to make it, man. Thank you so much
Do
for
it.
your time.
Thank you very much, all right, and have a wonderful day.
Take care.
Yeah, bye.